It's 2024, y'all. And like everyone else, I got some shit I want to accomplish, or at least make big strides towards. Cause I don't know about y'all, but 2023 for me was a dud. I had some abrupt changes, and life was just lifing at the early half of the year. By the time the coast was clear, having my peace, my downtime, and my privacy was a non-negotiable. I spent lots of time alone, and although it was uncomfortable, I gotta say, I learned a lot about myself. Like, coming out of the conundrum I was in, it was kind of like the lessons that life has been trying to teach me for so long. Just clicked. I don't know how to explain it, but it was kind of like everything just clicked for me, like, as an adult. I know it's gonna sound weird, but I feel like in 2023, my brain just shifted into adult mode. Like, I finally understood what my older friends had been preaching to me for years. It's as if after 30, something internally happens within you chemically. Pretty sure there's a scientific answer for that. Anywho, in 2023, I was in hermit mode. And it sounds weird, but as an extrovert, I actually really learned to enjoy my alone time. If anything, now when I want to refuel from human interaction, I'm super intentional about it. Meaning I go to my third places. These are places that I frequent often, that I'm pretty much a regular at. There are a neutral setting, no expectations, just open to conversation and being in community.
If you follow me on Instagram, I do this the most at Bika, which is my homie's coffee shop walking distance from me, and or I'll go to Seek Beer, which is also super close. I just found that the minute I clear the clutter physically, mentally, and emotionally, life becomes super simple. Even when complex situations come up, I find ways to break those down to stupid, simple solutions that are for the right now. Romanticizing the simple, mundane things we gotta do as adults really just makes life shine through a different light. It's not like, I gotta do this. It's more like, I get to do this.
I'm just in a different headspace and I'm really just enjoying my life for what it is. I'm super grateful to be living in a city like San Diego, in a walkable community. Sure, I could go live somewhere that's cheaper, but it's not gonna have the community aspect it has here. Specifically the greater North Park area, because you can't beat it and it's very hard to find. I've lived in multiple places and I always come back here because it just feels like home. Some people like to blow their money on hypebeast shoes, designer stuff, and that's all great. You do you, boo-boo.
My whole thing is that depending on what you're prioritizing, if it costs a little extra to live somewhere where you know you'll be happy, I'm willing to give up a few things. I'm willing to do some kind of balance. You can financially balance to have the type of lifestyle you want. There's certain things that I'm just willing to give up, or I'm just simply not that interested. I'm not really interested in designer. I'm not really interested in hypebeast stuff. So basically, the things that I'm into, I prioritize to be able to make it fit within my budget or whatever. Do I splurge sometimes? Yes. Nobody's perfect. I'm not rich. I don't come from money. I started working when I was 14. I moved out when I was 17, and I kind of never went back. And I've kind of just figured this life out on my own because I'm willing to take risks, take chances. And I've kind of just trial by fire. My entire life / career has been trial by fire. But I don't know about you. I don't have the luxury to take vacations all the fucking time to get away from my reality. Therefore, I'm trying to build a reality that I don't want to escape from. I want to love my life so much that I don't need to get away from my real life. And if I do go on vacation, it's strictly out of just leisure, going to visit friends and family, go learn about a culture, learn a new spot, try new places, try new things, experience new things. Not because I want to get away from like my everyday today. Can it be taxing on me sometimes? Of course. But what job isn't? And with that being said, this headspace that I'm currently in has given me clarity when it comes to figuring out what brings me joy and purpose. Okay, let's get into these 2024 goals. Again, these are mine. You can make whatever you want of them. These are just me and what I feel is going to fulfill me and just give me the purpose and allow myself to fill my cup so that I can count that as a successful year. That's what I would count as a successful year, is that I did the things that I enjoyed, that brought me purpose, that inspired people. That to me fills my cup, like beyond anything I could ever own, any amount of money. Like that's just heartfelt for me. Goal number 1, prioritizing my fitness and wellness. Lord knows I was idle for like 6 months of I would work out here and there, but no real movement where it was consistent. And I kind of just free-for-alled it. Did I have fun? Absolutely. I had a blast this summer. I did the most, and I loved every second of the memories that I created during that time period. But again, balance. And we're going to follow this back up with action items. So what is the action item when it comes to prioritizing my fitness and wellness? It's starting 75 soft. Now, if you followed me on TikTok, you would know that I've done 75 hard in 2022, and I completed the challenge. It was fucking hard. I don't have that type of energy to give in 2024 because I'm prioritizing other things that I'm trying to get into. Therefore, my energy has to be allocated in different areas and responsibly, right? So I can be able to manage and sustain these things that I want to complete. So I'm doing 75 soft, and that series is currently running on TikTok. And if you're here from TikTok, thanks for stopping by. Now, the other action item I've done is sign up for Orange Theory. I signed up like the last week of December because they were running some kind of deal. I'm not saying you got to sign up for Orange Theory. Sure. I also have a gym membership that I can go to. For me, the way my brain works, when it's a challenge and I'm basically being told what to do, all I got to do is just show up to a class. Something clicks in my brain where it just turns on. And the minute I'm under a challenge and I'm into classes where I could get charged $12 for not showing up for a class I said I was going to go to, it keeps me accountable in a whole different way. And this is just what works for me. I'm not saying you have to do that, but those are the action items I'm currently taking as we speak to make this a successful 2024. All right, goal number 2, create meaningful and intentional content. I don't know about you, but I am short form fatigued. I am trend fatigued. And I genuinely just crave human connection, like on a genuine level. And that's the energy I want to put out all year. I want to know that I contributed something positive to this earth before I go. The current action item for this is basically with 75 hard. I'm being mindful of the things that I'm saying and putting out to make sure that it touches on those points that if somebody were to watch one of the videos, that they got some type of entertainment, like a cool, calm feeling, a positive outlook on something, and or they just got up and got to the gym. Like, to me, that's a win. That's intentional. That's something that I put out that was made from nothing and came from the heart, that interacted or made somebody engage with that video to go do something for themselves. Action item number 2 under this umbrella is basically this video you're watching. I'm trying to be more mindful, and if it's going to be meaningful and intentional, I understand and I know that a minute and 30 seconds that you watch on TikTok sometimes isn't enough. And sometimes people want, like myself, want slowed down content where they can actually chill and watch something and be just calm. I've noticed that when I doom scroll or whatever, which by the way, I've turned on my like cutoffs for my apps because it's crazy how good these apps are at keeping you on the platform. So I want to make sure that I'm creating more than I'm consuming. But part of that, like I mentioned, is this video and putting this video style together, making sure that I'm showing up on YouTube in long form where people can take a breather and just hang out and be able to get to know me. Goal number 3 is educating myself. There's a lot of things about this industry that I still don't know. I mean, I came in through one way, which was short form, which is kind of ironic because now I'm really into long form and kind of getting away from short form. But there's so much to this industry and so many levels and depths to it that, there's things that I'm still curious about that I want to learn, whether it's, getting better at editing, whether it's color grading or copywriting. There's just a lot that I'm curious about and I want to learn, and I want to make it a point to have an hour, to have sometime during the week, sometime during the month, to have something that's going to better my skills as a content creator, as a creator overall, and just as a human being, of the things that pull at me constantly, because there's other things that have nothing to do with, content creation that I enjoy and I'd like to get to know and learn. So those are one of my things. And honestly, my obsession with my education has really led me to get here. I didn't go to school for any of this shit. because I'm so obsessed with learning, when I really want to learn something, I get so obsessed with it that I want to learn it and try it, learn it and try it. And all that trial and error has allowed me to get basically the last 3 jobs that I've had and gotten me into brand deals and things like that. I haven't had that many because most of my time creating has been content for other businesses. But I will say that if I did not have that itch for wanting to learn, I don't think I would be here. And I should say, I know I wouldn't be here because I would never have gotten myself a fighting chance. On top of learning is just being able to take action behind the things that I learned. And I mean, if this is something that you're wanting to get into, I highly, highly recommend trial by fire. Action item behind this is signing up for classes. I actually just signed up for a class sometime this month for a photography beginners class. I also have a course that I got signed up for that I'm going to be taking because work paid for it, but it's something that I also want to learn, which is copywriting. And honestly, there should be no reason why we ever stop learning. I don't think there's ever going to get to a point where you just know everything. And if you're just one of those know-it-alls, anywho, there's always room to grow. There's always room to learn. So I'm excited for that one. And finally, this is kind of like a bonus goal, is just to collaborate and meet more creators. Because I don't know if you've heard this yet, but creating content, like even today, I've spent, a few hours filming and going out to places and recording. This is a very lonely job, trade, whatever you want to call it. It's lonely, but at the same time, I know that there's people out there that do this, whether it's, a side hustle or full-time, or your internal, external, whatever. There's so much to the social media space that I just find that when you are connected to people that do the similar things, experience similar things, one, you learn from each other, you grow from each other, and it's also just super motivating, and it's just like admiring other people and other people's work and style of creation. I love that shit. So I just want to make it a point to meet more people, to be open to collaborate. Not that I ever wasn't before, but I was just in a different headspace. Now I'm just like, yes, I'm ready to collaborate with other people. I'm ready to go out there to travel and do those things, because those are the things that I feel will not only fill my cup, but also just bring me so much more peace in knowing, like, damn, I met somebody on the internet and we share the same likes, the same things. And I just think that would just be, I think just the world would be a better place if we're just around people that we want to be around and that inspire us on a regular basis, because we are a reflection of the people that we surround ourselves with. And if I could surround myself with more creators that are like-minded, I just don't see a negative impact on me. If anything, I see a 10x impact on me to be able to share experiences together and so on. So those are my 2024 goals / guidelines to make this a successful 2024. I'd love to hear what your 2023 recap or thoughts are on 2023, and also what your goals are for this year. Because shoot, if I could just make one of these move the needle, I'd be happy as well. I'd also like to remind you to be kind to yourself this year. Slow down and enjoy the little moments. But don't get it twisted. We're still standing on business in 2024.